Hey there, it's Angella Sharp, and you already know you're watching STL TV, where you get to experience St. Louis. Well, how about experience STL Filmmakers Showcase? I'm joined now by Chris Clark, the artistic creative director, right?
Artistic director, yes.
At Cinema St. Louis.
For a long time.
For a long time.
23 years.
23 years.
Yes.
Okay, so you know everything we need to know about the STL Filmmakers Showcase. Now, how many years has this been going on?
This is the 23rd year of this event. We were not the producers of the first year. There was an entity called the St. Louis Film Office that was in existence that time that promoted filmmaking in the city. There's a new one now, but that organization ended at the end of that year, and the powers that be said, hey, would the St. Louis International Film Festival, that was our name then, want this event? And we did, and then we added other events. So we had to change our name to Cinema St. Louis, which it is now, because we had more than just one event.
Now this STL Filmmaker Showcase kind of spans a lot. There's a lot of different types of movies. There's ways that you can learn more about, you know, maybe even getting yourself into movie making.
Yes.
So let's kind of walk through kind of each of those topics.
So what this event is, it's a film festival like the St. Louis International Film Festival or the Cannes Film Festival or Toronto Film Festival, but the caveat is, the connective tissue is, there's St. Louis-based filmmakers. Everything's connected to St. Louis. Sometimes expatriates who escaped our shores to work elsewhere, but it's all about St. Louis. So this year there are 91 films. Many of them are short subjects from 5 to 40 minutes in programs of like-themed films. There's a comedy program and horror and thrillers and things like that to put them together. But we think these are bright, talented filmmakers, many of whom have participated in the event in the past, but some are brand new to the table who, you know, through the submission process, great discovery has happened, and here we are about to do it in our new forever home here at the Hi-Pointe Theatre.
If you're a true St. Louisan, you've been here at least once in your life, and this lobby kind of has a really niche feel to it.
Yes. People may or may not know that Cinema St. Louis took possession of this iconic 101-year-old beautiful movie theater space in January, and we've been doing first run and repertory programming, our own events like this, rentals, weddings, everything. It's been fun.
I bet it's been a great time, and now the STL Filmmakers Showcase makes its way here. So how does somebody get involved in watching some of these films?
So you don't have to be a filmmaker yourself. You just have to be somebody who likes going to the movies. And we want to stress to people, this isn't like going to a grade school talent show where you're there to be polite and you're like, when is this over? These are well-crafted, professionally made films and stories that, you know, would stand toe-to-toe with filmmakers or filmmaking anywhere, but they're made right around you, and you'll recognize people and locations all over town, and celebrating the artists who make films locally.
I love that, and there's even a lot of those, I read about some of the movies that are coming, and some of those storylines are kind of niche even to St. Louis, with like a band that played back in the 70s, and you know, a couple high school guys that got together and made a band, and I think it's probably more about their life and their relationships than the band itself, but maybe if you went and saw them back in the day, you might think that's really cool.
They had a reunion tour 40 years later and made an album, and it's the connective tissue of their friendship through decades that is really the story, but how interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So how does somebody just show up and watch? Can I just buy a ticket to one? Can I buy a package to these comedy sets? Like, how does it work?
What a great question. You can do any of those things. You can walk up to the box office before any show. There is a universal pass that will get you into everything if you want to see a lot of stuff. And they're grouped on 2 weekends, the 21st through the 23rd, and then the following weekend, 28th through the 30th. So you can just come. You can buy things in advance. Some shows may actually sell out this big, beautiful theater, and tickets are on sale now. But
I got to tell you, if I was a filmmaker, I'd have all my friends come.
And that's the beauty of it. They bring, you know, their cast and crew and grandmas and girlfriends and relatives to celebrate themselves. But they're celebrating their filmmaker brethren. Many of the filmmakers in the event are not just a director of one film. I read all the credits, and I'll see they were an editor on another film, or they were a composer on another film. So people work with each other, and they're here to support each other and support the craft right here in the Lou.
And that's kind of a big deal, because if you're trying to get into filmmaking is not an easy thing to get into. So you're probably one of those people who can wear many hats. And so you would be on many different films doing, maybe you're even a PA on one and then you direct another. It's just kind of whatever the gig may be.
Yeah, and the great, why we love this event so much is the camaraderie of the local filmmakers is really strong here, and they do help each other, sometimes for nothing. And you do see names back and forth on things, and they'll come and cheer each other on, waiting for the awards party at the end where awards will be given by the St. Louis Film Critics Association. Then we announce a number of films that get the graduate level and are invited to the International Festival in the fall for another showing locally.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
And you mentioned the party afterwards. At the end of all this,
yes,
there's a party right here.
Right here in our own space.
Which
This
is awesome.
Great, yes.
So people could probably mingle, meet some of these directors. Maybe somebody is watching and they're not into it yet, but they want to be. This is a great way for them to learn.
Yes, we all the filmmakers will have identifying film festival badges, and we will acknowledge them and announce them before all the shows. On both weekends, there's a series of master classes about the filmmaking process that are free and open to the public if you want to just learn a little more. Or that's why the badge is there, and we introduce them. Like, if you want to talk to them, that's what they're there for too. They want a public to talk to them about their work. Everyone's excited about it.
Everybody is and I'm very excited about this. It's a big deal. Now, I'm assuming you didn't watch all of these films yet.
I did.
You watched every one of them?
I'm the producer of the event, so I'm the selector. Everything submitted did not make it, so I have to dutifully watch them all.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
So that's got to be rough, though, to tell somebody, thanks, but not this time.
It's the worst part of it, and sometimes they're people I've worked with before. Sometimes they're friends of mine, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I have to be objective and pick what I think is the best, things that fit together. I try to pick the best
of the best
matches and the best of the best. Yeah.
So you love all of these films, but is there maybe a title or two that you can just give them a name that you're really excited about having here this coming?
I'm excited about seeing the crowd's reaction to The Box, a sci-fi, conspiracy-laden thriller with aliens from outer space taking place in St. Louis. The film took 11 years to make, and the big little star asterisk to it is the director, David Linder. His first feature film was in the very first showcase in 2001. Flash forward 23 years later, his next feature is in this one. He's super excited. Tickets are selling crazy, and some of the people in it, they filmed it a while ago. One actor, unfortunately, has passed away since then, but it's good to see him on screen. And some people's hair is darker and more of it than they are today. But it doesn't matter that it was filmed a decade ago. It works. It's fun. The documentary Anthem about the band, just joy of making music. They admit they weren't very good, but they did it and they loved it. Just like what we do.
Yes.
I love what I do, and I love putting this event together. And it's it's about people here.
That's why I love talking to you every time, because I can tell that you love these events and you love putting them together, and you love seeing people come through the doors and excited about it. So
I'm a game show host.
I mean, that's how you're. I feel like we're all blessed when we can love what we do, and so that is great that you're able to do that. So let's run through a website people can check out, give their ticket information, all that.
Tickets are on sale now. The full program is in process, so that'll be available soon too. cinemastlouis.org is the base for the Hi-Pointe and the events that we do. Tickets are on sale for all the shows now. You can take time perusing and look at each one and decide what's interesting. You probably know somebody who has made or is in or has touched one of these films. There's no way. It's because it's St. Louis.
Yeah, it's St. Louis. We all have like 3 degrees of separation anyway,
Exactly.
so you probably definitely do. So people definitely need to check this out. It's going over 2 weekends.
Yes.
So you got plenty of time. Maybe you work a weekend. There's plenty of time for you to at least get in and see maybe a film or two.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been fun.
Definitely check them out. STL Filmmakers Showcase is going to be so much fun. I'm Angella Sharp, but you keep it right here on STL TV and Experience St. Louis. We got more coming at you now.